K through 12th grade students, I'm talking about all grades, my female students are always leaps and bounds.
I saw this video earlier and had to wait to come home to respond to it because I was in the car for 12 hours coming from India. And I sat with it, and all I could say is that this is somewhat concerning because I've seen so many different types of black educators get on this platform and other platforms to sit there and shit talk boys. Now, I understand we can talk about the male species, we can talk about, YNs, we can talk about, black men and what they need to do, but I often feel that it makes the educator themselves look like they are not capable to actually help these students that they like to talk down on. And I'm not saying that he's like fully talking down on them, he's fully sitting there saying that they are not, worthy, or they are not, educated, or they're not trying to be educated. But a lot of the comments are reinforcing this belief that black boys do not want to be educated. Black boys are inherently violent or inherently slow or inherently ignorant. They do not want to have an education, which is not the full truth, and it's not nuanced at all. And so I often wonder within the black community, what does this lead to? How is this going to help black men? How is this going to help young black men? How is this going to help black boys be able to get an education? How is this going to help encourage them when you're just shitting on them and telling them that girls are better than them? Like, is this supposed to wake up their competitive spirit? Is it supposed to, burn something inside of them that they're competing against women? Or that, like, what does it do at the end of the day for you to feel the need to talk down on them? This is the same thing that has happened, I think, a couple of months ago with that HBCU thing, where basically they were sitting there talking about black men, and black men don't want to get education. And the black man was like, we literally going into the trades. And then they were like, well, not all black men are graduating from the trades. And they're like, well, some of us have certifications, like we're going into the trades. Like a lot of black men are going into the trades. And there was barely anybody that was actually trying to listen, right? There was people that were sitting there still shit talking black men because they have resentment towards black men because of the black men that they grew up with. Now, I've talked a lot about the different types of black men I've, dealt with. I talked about what happens when I present feminine. I've talked about, homophobia, growing up in the Bible Belt, being around black people, toxic masculinity. We talk about it over and over and over and over again. Even with all of that, I have to look in the mirror. I have to go out into the real world, and I have to understand that whether feminine or masculine, I am still a man. And so there are certain perceptions and certain types of things that are put on men, and there's certain types of perceptions, certain types of things that are put on black men. And as much as I could talk about homophobia, as much as I could sit there and say men need to sit there and grow up, talk about the DLs and all this other stuff we be talking about till the wheels fall off, at the end of the day, when talking about education and when talking about encouraging the youth and encouraging people in your community to want to get education, you encourage not by talking down to. You encourage not by looking down upon. That's not how you encourage by sitting there comparing them to the